Yo, what's going on guys, Impulse here and welcome back to today's video, which is going to be a continuation of the Pokemon Price Stack series. So for those of you that don't know, the Pokemon Price Stack is a series that I've got going where I battle my subscribers in standard OU and below battles. Each person that battles has a chance to win the price stack, and with more battles that pass, the price stack gets bigger and bigger. At the moment we've got all these guys on the line. All of them are shiny and battle ready. So if you want a chance to be in the Pokemon price stack, go ahead and drop your FC down below. Up above you'll see a video with the full rules, but make sure you grab my FC on screen now, as the FC I put in that video has a typo in it. And of course, if this or any of my other content looks like it's your cup of tea, go ahead and meteor mash that subscribe button. We are on the road to 500 and we're slowly getting there. But as for today's battle, I am going to be battling Marsh. As you've already seen, if he wins, he will be able to claim the price stack. All of those mons will be his. But if he loses, I'll add one more Pokemon to the list, and that next person in line will have a chance to get all of those goodies for themselves. So without further ado, I'm going to go over the teams and we'll quickly jump into the battle. So the last three battles me and Marsh have had, he's brought a quite heavy OU team. So I decided to do the same because I wanted to balance the playing field, but to my surprise he brought this. But as you know, battles are not always quite what they seem, and they're not always as they look on pen and paper. So I'm going to be bringing a Tapu Fini, a Venusaur, Clefable, Celesteela, Heatran and Chansey. Marsh is going to bring Fortress, Suicune, Gallade, Ditto, Rampardos and Regice. So we're challenged by Trainer Latham, aka Marsh, and I'm going to lead out with Tapu Fini, and he is going to lead out with Fortress. I'm obviously going to be able to set up the terrain, and I figured he had two physical attackers and a rock setter, so Fini's a bulky nature, and the option to defog was not too bad for me. And when I saw it, I wanted to set up the terrain as well, and I got it and I set up, and I decided to go out into Heatran. Marsh is going to go for the Volt Switch, and I wasn't expecting that, but it immediately makes me think that he has the same set as mine. So now I've got to bear that in mind, and I guess it's a good job I did make that switch, and out comes this thing. So I wasn't too sure if he was going to Sword Dance or go straight for the close combat, and I didn't want to risk it at this point, so I decided to go out into Celesteela. Celesteela can take a neutral hit, and he's going to go for his Mega Evolution. So I'm kind of looking, I'm expecting it to do less than half or around half from the close combat, but he actually goes for the Sword Dance, and now I realise that I am in a bit of trouble. I know that I should be able to take one, but I'm not going to be in good health, and that actually does way more than I actually thought it would do. And now I realise that I'm in a lot of trouble. I go for the Heavy Slam. I know that its defense is not the fantastic stat, and it doesn't quite take it out even with that -1 defense. So I'm looking at my team and I realise that I am definitely in trouble now. I've got no safe switch, so I decide to stay in, and I have to fodder Celesteela straight off, so that's me with one guy down straight away. And at this point I look at my team and I realise I've got nothing to outspeed this thing. So my best chance is to wall it out with Tapu Fini, so that's what I'm going to go into. He actually makes a switch, he wants to save it for later, and he goes out into Ditto, which I know for me is a big problem. I can't do what I want to do until later in the game, because I really need to get rid of this. Because he's transformed, he gets to see my entire moveset, so he knows what to expect. And I'm going to go for some nice neutral damage, and I'm going to get that Moonblast off. I'm expecting him to go for his move, but it doesn't matter. I've got to go out into this. So I go out, he goes for the Natured Madness. It's going to take half of my HP, but that's fine. I know overall I can wall it. So now I'm expecting him to switch, and he does, and that's going to allow me to get a free turn. So Fortress comes in, and I'm assuming he's going to be setting up his rocks, and I use my Flopsy to set up my rocks. So now that leaves him with the choice of setting up his rocks or spinning mine away. While he makes that choice, I'm going to use the Wish. It gives me an opportunity to heal myself back up, or potentially go out into another guy and heal that up. He goes for the Rapid Spin and the terrain disappears, and I figure I've got nothing to do right now, so I go for the Stealth Rocks again. Get some HP back for free, and he's going to go for his Stealth Rocks. So we're both at an even playing field, but I'm expecting that rapid spin to come again. Thankfully though, I get my HP back up, and I'm looking towards my team to see what I want to go out into. I decide that Heatran's the safest play, and I'm hoping that he doesn't go for the Volt Switch. I'm going to take a little bit of rocks damage, but that's not too bad, and he does go for the rapid spin. So I'm in a pretty decent position. I was quite fearful that he would Volt Switch there and go out into the Glade, and that would have been very, very bad. But thankfully that didn't happen, and now I'm going to be able to just make some plays. I predict his switch, and I go out into Venusaur. Venusaur's going to take some rock damage, and he does go for a switch. He goes out into the Ditto, and it's not too bad. He gets to copy me, but thankfully I'm not Mega Jet, so I've got the upper hand in this matchup. Of course, it means he gets to see my set again, and he goes out into his fortress, realizing that I can't really do too much. I'm going to go for the Mega Revolution though, because it's free and I've got no reason not to. I went for a Sludge Bomb, but unfortunately it did nothing. I figured I had nothing to lose, so now I'm going to go for the Sleep Powder, and Fortress is going to take a nap. So with that asleep, it reveals that he's got Sturdy and not Overcoat, which is good for me because I had to make that risk, and I can make a free switch out into Heatran. I take no attack, but I obviously take damage from the rocks, which is becoming a little bit of a nuisance. Unfortunately, I can't afford to get rid of those right now. I've got other things to do. So I go for the Stealth Rocks, and he predicts that, and he decides to stay in and burn a turn of sleep. It was a bit of a risky play on his part, but it paid off for him as he goes for his Volt Switch. So he scores a little bit of damage on me, and he's able to get some switch initiative. So Rampardos comes out, and I'm not liking the look of this thing. Kind of expecting Dragon Dance, but I'm not sure if he wants to go straight for an attack. So I'm having a little think to myself, and I decide to switch out, make the safest play, go into Tapu Fini because it's got the most physical bulk. I'm going to take them rock damage again, which is really becoming frustrating, and I'm going to get that terrain up. Rampardos goes for a Zen Headbutt on a misclick, and thankfully misses it. He said that he wanted to try save that for later on against Venusaur, and now he's forced to make a switch. So this thing's going to come in, and it's going to take some rock damage, and I'm going to go for a Moonblast just to get a chip damage on whatever he wanted to do. If he wanted to stay in, that would have been fine. I would have got the damage off, and whatever came in takes that off. Unfortunately, he's got a red card, which means I have to switch out now, and Venusaur's going to come back out, meaning that I'm going to take some more Stealth Rock damage. With the terrain up, I make a terrible play as he goes for a switch. He goes out into Ditto, and he's going to be able to copy me as he previously did. Unfortunately, my misclick kicked in, and I go for the Sleep Powder, forgetting that I'd already put the terrain up. So now I have to take a dish out a Sludge Bomb, and it gets a crit, but it doesn't quite take him out. He goes for a Sludge Bomb as well, but I'm looking pretty good on HP. I go for the Giga Drain in case he wants to play any games stalling out the terrain, knowing that he'd take it out anyway, and I'll get a few points of HP back. So Ditto's finally dead, and that was the main thing I was thinking about at that time. All of that time I just needed to get rid of it, and Rampardos is going to come back out. Rampardos is going to take some Stealth Rock damage, and he's got options, whatever he wants to do. I decide that since he revealed his attack, I'm just going to stay in. I was kind of sacking it off, to be honest, at this point. And yeah, again, I forget about the terrain. So it's just going to go for Rock Slide. Crucial mess up. I could have got the Giga Drain off there, and that would have been fantastic. But unfortunately for me, it didn't quite pay off. So I'm going to have to bring out Tapu Fini again. And Finny's going to have a fun time taking Rampardos out. So he decides that's not good for him. It's not in his best interest, and he brings out Fortress again. So I'm going to just fire off another Moonblast as he takes some damage from the Stealth Rocks. So he's getting low, but not low enough right now, and I'm lowering his special attack, which is good considering he's got Volt Switch. His chip damage won't be as high. So I'm going to switch out now, and I go into Clefable, because status equals 0, as he goes for his Rapid Spin. Now that Ditto's gone, I can implement the strategy, and I'll be able to do what I need to do. So I'm going to get a little bit of leftovers recovery, and this turn for me equals a free Cosmic Power. If you wanted to make a Volt Switch, that would be fine. He's at -1 special attack, it wouldn't have done too much anyway, and if he wants to hard switch, that's fine by me too. So he does make a Volt Switch, does practically no damage, but he gets his switch initiative and decides to go out into his Rampardos. I know what's coming, I can't really do anything about it, but I know that I can take the first attack. I'm hoping that he doesn't go for, doesn't get the flinch, because he's going to be faster and he's going to Iron Head. Iron Head comes in and it does a lot of damage, but he doesn't get the flinch, and Cosmic Power is able to set up again. So now I've got 2, I'm feeling like I can definitely survive this next start, bar if he gets a crit, which I'm hoping he doesn't get the flinch, I'm hoping he doesn't get the crit, and he's going to go for Iron Head. He's not going to be able to take me out, and he's not going to score a flinch, so I'm going to get my Moonlight off, and I'm thanking my stars at this point that I haven't flinched. So I'm going to go and get all that HP back up. It's looking good, but not good enough. So I'm going to keep building up my defense, and combination with defense and HP, and hope that I don't get wrecked. And I go for another Moonlight, I don't flinch again, and I'm just crossing my fingers. I'm thinking to myself, well, I've got pretty lucky here. It's pretty good. So I can go for another Calm Mind. Nope, not Calm Mind. That's not the move this guy's got. Cosmic Power. So he's going to go for his Iron Head again. Not going to do a great deal, and I'm going to be able to get that third Cosmic Power up. Now I'm feeling even more safe behind it. And I think it was somewhere around this point that Marsha said to me, have you realised something yet about his set? And I was like, no, I expected you to get that flinch by now. And he revealed that he has got Sheer Force. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't see the Mold Breaker when it came in, I completely forgot about it. To be honest, I didn't even realise this got Sheer Force, or I knew when I forgot. And yeah, so no flinches for him, but he does get the increased power. So now he's basically fishing for a crit. He thinks that he's going to lose the battle, and I was saying, unless you do get a crit, this should be over. So I'm going to hope for the best. So it's just going to be a few more turns of regeneration and HP, providing there's no flinch, providing there's no crit to come. He also revealed that his item was a Choice Scarf, which was quite interesting. I didn't expect that, to be honest. So he's going to go for another Iron Head, and even with all my defenses, it's still doing a lot more than I expected it to. The Sheer Force plus its natural attack is just really high. But my defenses are solid now. There's not much he can do bar that crit. And it's almost time for me to start going on the onslaught. So I finally decide to go on the attack, go for the charge beam, and unfortunately my first attack misses, which kind of sucks, because the strategy is now to get up my special attack, and yeah, I'm just going to proceed to try and sweep. Unfortunately, he doesn't get a crit. So I do a nice bit of damage, get the special attack boost, and I'm just going to have to keep going and hope he doesn't get this crit. He goes for another Iron Head. I know that he can't get the flinch now, and I'm going to go for the Moonlight and get all that HP back. Marsh is known to be really lucky in battles, but unfortunately it doesn't look like luck is going his way this time round. I'm going to go for that next charge beam, and he's going to get, he's taking even more damage because of the boost, and I'm going to get the boost again. It was really important that I got rid of the Ditto, otherwise he could have done this on me and that would have been excruciating. This set was a set I made a long time ago. You've probably seen it in some of the previous battles, and yeah, with the exception of a crit, once it gets going, it's not going down so easily. Unfortunately for Rampardos though, it has got no power left and it has to go for its struggles, and I failed to finish it off, and that means he's going to be able to struggle and kill himself. I didn't get the free boost from it, and now it's time for him to bring his next guy in. We go for the charge beam, but it's going to fail because there's no target, but we get a leftovers recovery and we're looking in excellent condition. Mosh brings out his Regice, which is special bulky, and he's going to take another charge beam. I decide that I'm going to keep powering up my attacks because I know that this is going to take a considerable amount of damage to take down. Mosh goes for the Toxic in hopes to finally wear this thing down. But status equals 0, and we've got Magic Guard, so we're not going to take any poison damage. So I'm free to just sit there and continue my onslaught and go for another Charge Beam. Charge Beam's going to hit off, going to do a decent amount of damage, and I've got a considerable amount of bonuses in my physical defense, my special defense, and my special attack at this point. And Mosh realizes there's nothing really he can do. So I was going to go for my last move, but it looks like the battle's going to be cut short as Mosh forfeits the battle. So GG Mosh, you got a little bit unlucky there with the crates, and yeah, but that means I get to add one more Pokemon to the price stack. So I'm going to add this guy. So the next person in line has a chance to win all of these. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, so if you enjoyed the video or learned something useful, don't forget to meteor mash that like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters!